It was a quiet Friday in the insular village of Crooked Tree, but under the placid surface, there is worry. The annual overflowing of the banks of the Crooked Tree Lagoon has this year been exacerbated by a spillover from flooding in the Deep West, and the village chairman, John Gillett, says this coming weekend could be crisis point.
As of this morning, we have 7 inches of water at the deepest point across the causeway, and the measurement at the first bridge there was 3.78 meters. Yesterday morning it was 3.74, so we're only seeing a 0.04 rise in level since yesterday, which is maybe just over an inch or so. The rate in which the water is coming in at the moment has reduced drastically, and the levels on the causeway will be directly dependent on the amount of rain and where we get the rain in the country. We have some areas which are being threatened at this time. Even though the access to those areas may be inundated at this time, the houses are not underwater as yet. So no reason for the people to move as yet. But if the water continues to rise, then these people will have to be moved from their location to another location.
The forecast from the National Met Service calls for showers over central Belize through Friday evening, with fair weather expected for the rest of the weekend. But the accumulation of rainfall from earlier in the week and the arrival of the floodwaters from the Belize River and the Spanish Creek into the lagoon have already combined to inundate properties like Angie Webb's. She and her husband own the Crooked Tree Lodge, which seemed to be combined with the nearby lagoon when we visited this afternoon.
We've been seeing the effects of the flooding for about 2 weeks now, and so far, in comparison to 2013, it's not as bad, but it's still a huge inconvenience. For example, we have someone staying, and there's not much they can do apart from hang out in their room or on the balconies. The property is probably 90% flooded at the moment, and we're just trying to cope as best as we can. We have other people booked in to stay in the next week or so. If the water continues to rise, then we will have to cancel these reservations and recommend other places for people to stay. At the moment, we've got our boat out. Our boat is ready. If you look, we just saw some people passing in their kayaks on the Crooked Tree Lagoon. It's just a real inconvenience, but it's better to be happy, stay calm, enjoy the water when it's here, because when it's all gone, then we have the dry season and everything is just dry and dusty and dry.
Other residents would likely agree. But for now, the wait continues, and Gillett goes to check the level near the first bridge twice a day. He says that drivers can pass for now, but should exercise their best judgment.
Once it gets around 12 to 15 inches, or the 4-meter mark by the bridge there, we will then have to look at alternative means of crossing. In that case, what we normally do is use boats, and whenever we use these boats, it just takes us to the other side of the lagoon, and then when we go to the other side of the lagoon, the bus transport the people into the respective areas. What I would want to advise people, especially those traveling in small vehicles, be very, very careful. Take your time across. The water is only 7 inches, and you will be able to assess whether your vehicle can handle 7 inches or not. You take the chances, and that in itself should be a measure in which you can make a decision.
Aaron Humes reporting for News 5.